This video is brought to you by our patrons and YouTube members. This is an excerpt from the HeroCast, a patron and YouTube member exclusive little show we do every month at the end of the month, which is about, 30 to 45 minutes long, where we go over things that have happened in PSVR2 and also just channel things in general over the last month. So thank you to them, and they are Luke Bentley, Phil Irving, Hazit Mirza, Ace Gamer, Hippie Pickle, Jin007, A License to Chill, Sun WTF, Fat Controllers, Jason Parker, Lamar Hall, Jordy Bansma, Lemon64K, Callum Tierney, Mischievous Marco, The Underground Game Cat, Brian East, Alajimbe, D2Y, Underground, Stranger Game Cat, The Game Cat, Andrew Ehrenreich, Mark Smith, X King X Ping, Jarzafash, The Legacy of Kane Cat, Hooked Worm, The Who's Here Game Cat, Outcast VR, Prophecy77, Test Rate Review, Salvador, Wade, FNCS Kieran, and Sean Krim. There are so many of you now, thank you so much. Anyway, enjoy this excerpt of the future of PSVR2 and my predictions for the PS Showcase, which is bound to happen at some point over the next month or so. Enjoy. Okay, the final question is from Hazit Mirza, and this is the one that we've been building up to throughout this episode, and that is, give us your most educated guessing on PlayStation IPs that may be announced at the Showcase or State of Play. Also, what benefits will VR2 see from the PS5 Pro? Okay, so first and foremost, I think this will be a showcase and not a state of play. I could be wrong, but my main thinking for that is because this is going to be where the PS5 Pro is announced. As we said earlier in the episode, it was an open secret with devs at Gamescom. Just like in the last couple of games conventions, the Nintendo Switch 2 has been paraded around in secret and shown off with like the Matrix Awakens demo and stuff like that. Similar here, the PS5 Pro is kind of an open secret with developers. They know they've been developing for it, upgrading their games, making sure they're optimized and run well. And I think that it's definitely going to be centered around that. And I'm hoping the best case scenario, and I don't know if this will really happen, but the best case scenario in my head for PSVR 2 with the PS5 Pro would be that we see the benefits of PS5 Pro for PSVR 2. So they would just put a word out in the showcase saying, also with PS5 Pro, enjoy, native, non-reprojected PSVR 2 games like Horizon Call the Mountain or GT7, and kind of just put a little word in about that. I think that would satisfy us as a PSVR 2 player base and be like, this is the benefit you're going to get from the extra horsepower of this thing. As I think it is like 45% more powerful, they said, in terms of some of the devs at Gamescom talking about it. So it would be smart for them to say, one more thing, PSVR 2 users, here's your benefits. This is your reason to buy this. And if it did come to that, you could play Horizon Call the Mountain or GT7 unreprojected, it would be tempting for me to pick one up. I would love to. It obviously depends on finances and stuff, because I'm perfectly happy with my PS5. Everything runs flawlessly on that, and is it really worth the maybe £500 or dollar upgrade to get non-reprojected? Maybe not, but it would be tempting. It'd be tempting. So I think that's the biggest benefit we'll see. I don't think we'll really see much else in terms of benefits for the PS5 Pro. It's more just going to be, an add-on in the life cycle of the PS5. We're a fair few years into it now. Was it 4 years into it? Coming up on 4 years since it was shown off and put on sale in 2020. So I think we're going to get another couple of years of the PS5 with the PS5 Pro life cycle and then onto the PS6. So I don't think we're going to see anything massive in terms of PSVR 2 improvements. Maybe there will be none at all. But we are going to see, hopefully, just a boost in performance on all PSVR 2 games because of the horsepower like we saw from PS4 to PS5 with the original PSVR. Even if it's not done on purpose by devs or by Sony, I think we should get a benefit from that horsepower. But best case, we'll get actual, patches for games like GT7 and Horizon and, Resident Evil, boosting them up to 90 Hz instead of 60 reprojected. Because even though I do enjoy these games at 60, it's another feeling of immersion when you're playing a game at 90 or 120 Hz. The biggest advocate for that I can say is Red Matter 2. Playing that, it felt like I was there. That was the first time I think I played a 120 non-reprojected game, I should say, on PSVR 2. And I sat there and I booted up the game and I thought, fucking hell, it's just crazy immersive. I'm expecting most of the showcase to really be on new IPs and on enhancements for the PS5 Pro on the flat screen, basically. Also, along with new IPs, I think we'll get some sequels. And to be honest, my predictions for the showcase, honestly, are kind of all over the place. I would love to see the PS5 build or console build for Ready or Not finally rear its head. That's been floating around for a bit. I could see that definitely showing up because that's been in talks for a while. I would love to see... God, I'm in a milsim state of mind now. I was about to say I'd love to see Arma Reforger but that's not have early access just yet, I don't think, so I don't think we'd see that. In terms of big stuff, though, Naughty Dog's next IP or next game definitely could get a little tease there. Absolutely. More PSVR or more PS5 ports to PC, of course, is kind of warranted. You know, it's kind of expected. I don't think we'll see the ports of Forza Horizon 5 and Flight Sim be revealed here. I think if that does happen, which is heavily rumored to do so onto PS5, I think that'll be done on Xbox's terms, not at a Sony event. I don't think Sony would be parading around the Xbox Game Studios logo at their own event, which is meant to be hyping up their next piece of hardware. But who knows? We could see that, but I don't think that'd be at the showcase. Maybe, though. It wasn't at Gamescom. No announcements for the PS5 versions of those games, but we did get the Indiana Jones PS5 reveal at Gamescom, so maybe it'll happen. Maybe they're saving it for the PlayStation Showcase, but I'm not sure about that. I'd love to see Ghost of Tsushima 2 show up there. I don't know if Santa Monica are really working on anything. I'm assuming they are. I don't know if they're really ready to show off anything about their next game, though. I think, is it Ben's studio, the studio behind Days Gone? We're working on something new. Could definitely see that show up at the showcase. But yeah, I mean, it's kind of an interesting thing where a lot of the first-party studios for PlayStation are working on games and we don't know what they are, which is an exciting time. I'm looking forward to going into the showcase. Hopefully I'm back from my little break by then. I'm coming back just before Space Marine 2 comes out. That's another big one I'm excited for. And to be honest, if I had to put a prediction of a timescale of when the showcase would happen, I'd say it's probably from the, say, 10th to the 20th. In that time, I think PlayStation would want to get the showcase done before Tokyo Game Show, get the PS5 Pro hands-on there so people can see it, talk about it a little bit more. And I think that's the smart thing. That's definitely what they're going to do. Now that it's kind of out there and we know that the PS5 Pro is a thing, then yeah, I think it's pretty clear that they're going to want to show off the hardware in a more substantial form to anybody who wants to try it at the Tokyo Game Show. So yeah, in terms of IPs though, I'm not really sure about that. I think I'd settle on Ghost of Tsushima 2, whatever Naughty Dog is working on, the Ben Studio game that we don't really know about. I would say we get a couple of PSVR2 games. Usually for a state of play, our standard is 2. So maybe we could see, I want to say last time in a showcase we got 4 or maybe 3. All I can recall from the last showcase was the Foglands got announced and Help Wanted 2 got announced. I don't think we didn't get Legendary Tales there. We got that at State of Play, so I'll have to rewatch. But I'd say like anywhere between 2 and 4 PSVR2 games is what we usually expect from an event like this. So yeah, we shall see. But I can't say that I know anything in terms of insider information for anything being announced. I'm very much in the dark. My dream scenario would be a PSVR2 first-party game announced. If there's going to be one, it's going to be announced here, let's be honest, because it's been, quite a few months before the last big kind of Sony-funded PSVR2 game. I want to say the last one was Resident Evil 4, maybe, that had a lot of money poured into it by Sony. So if there's a time for them to show their hand, it's going to be here. And I think, to be honest, that will happen. Whether or not that rears its head as the long-rumoured, God of War or Last of Us VR games, who knows? It would be a smart thing for them to do. Even like an IP like Spider-Man would have a fantastic VR capable, potential. But we'll have to see. I don't think Insomniac are really returning to VR anytime soon. So maybe they'll hand it off to somebody else. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, I'm excited for the PS Showcase. I'll see what's going on in terms of streaming that. We'll either stream it on the channel here, or I'll head over to Without Parole if they'll have me again. But there's a lot of people that likes to be on Without Parole because it's a very prestigious show. So we'll see what happens with that. But Brian, if you're listening to this, I would love to be on again if there is a showcase. Of course, if there's no space, that's all right. Don't worry. But yes, we'll see.